Welcome back to the last video for Experiment 10 on Part C. Part C relies on the same solutes and testing that we used in the previous part with a small twist. So now, in addition to the three solutes, sodium chloride, glucose, and starch, charcoal will be added to the solution. Now, charcoal doesn't dissolve in water, so this produces a heterogeneous mixture. We will filter the mixture to see which solutes pass through. Now, this is similar in concept to Part B, with the filter paper essentially replacing the dialysis tubing. The pore size is much larger in filter paper, but is it large enough to allow all the solutes to pass through? So we collect the solution which passes through the filter, which we call the filtrate. The filtrate is subjected to the same three tests we used before. As for the charcoal, it should be obvious by inspection whether or not it passes through the filter. I begin by adding charcoal to the remaining solution from Part B. You will notice that the charcoal is fine and very powdery. I then swirl the charcoal to mix it with the rest of the solution. I take a piece of filter paper and fold it initially in half, and then I fold that in half again to produce quarters. I then open up the filter paper, separating it so 3/4 on one side and 1/4 is on the remaining side. And then I put that filter paper in a glass funnel and wet it down with deionized water so that it sticks better to the glass. I then add the mixture into the funnel. I spray down the material left over in the beaker with some deionized water, swirl, and add that to the funnel as well. Observe that the liquid draining out of the bottom of the funnel appears to be clear and colorless, implying that the charcoal is all being left behind on the filter paper. At this point, the filtration is mostly complete. Looking at the solution, it's clear that none of the charcoal has passed through the filter paper. I will now test the filtrate for each of the three possible solutes, beginning with the chloride ion. Here, I carry out the test for chloride using the silver solution. Next, I test for starch using the iodine solution. And last, I test for glucose using Benedict's solution. I take the test tube to the hot water bath for it to be warmed up for 5 minutes. Five minutes later, we see that a change has clearly occurred.